This trade I was talking about the sweep of these levels. The thick green one is yesterday's value area high. The red one is the previous week's value area high, and then you have the POC down there from yesterday. So I was basically talking about these all day that I thought the sweep was coming, and I was looking for it, and I was actually in it from about the H high there, but then I wasn't in the final sweep just because it had kind of a little spike up, and that knocked me out of that sweep. But then I did buy that sweep initially, or on the initial sweep, and brought that back, and I took some off at the RTH VWAP, which is that pink line coming through there, and then I did have to close one contract on the way back. But I got the second sweep down here, and I entered when we got back up over that the thick green line there. We saw that nice push up. And I was thinking that now that they've swept those levels, and this is what I was thinking right at the beginning, I was talking about on the Telegram channel, was that they would try to, test those levels. And when they did this sweep, and I started thinking that they kind of finished what they wanted to do, and we'd get a return to value and a retracement of the entire value area at this point. So that's what I was shooting for on this one. And actually, I was shooting for that with that first sweep. It just kind of, you had sellers in there. This one starts to fall off here too, and it's getting stuck around this 35. And I think if you look at that 5-minute chart, um, if you were stepping the way it's stepping down, I think you had sellers come in there, obviously at that 35 level. And then that's kind of what's holding this back. And this tempo was so slow today. This is sped up about 3 times normal speed, but the tempo was so slow today, it was throwing me off a little bit, being able to judge, what they were trying to do here. But it was still, if you look at it, it's still doing what it's supposed to do. I thought the first sweep was going to do this, and I thought that first sweep was going to go through there. So I did on this one, I protected myself a little bit more, and I ended up taking off probably too many contracts, but it's kind of how it goes because I had a couple trades earlier, and a few of those rotations, they were so short, I would get a couple contracts off, and then it would come all the way back and, take out the rest. So I was being a little bit preemptive on getting, my contracts off. I thought in this situation, there wasn't any news today, so there wasn't anything really pushing it around other than the fact that they finished that sweep, or finished that down move. And like I said, I wanted to get most of them off here. I'm front running that J high, and you also have the MPOC, so I thought this was a good spot to take one. You're getting a pretty nice push on that delta, but right in here, I'll take one of the contracts. And it actually hangs out a little bit longer than I would have liked, because when we got to this level, I thought it would really start to pick up speed. You'd see like a retest of that 35, and it would really start pushing. And you can see, look at that 5-minute chart, how they are selling it as it's coming into that RTH. So there's a little bit of pressure there, but look at that delta, how that's counteracting that. And I just thought like I was saying earlier, the rotations were so short that I was getting, I would get like one or two contracts off, and then it would come back and take the rest out. So the rotations were so short, after getting this trade, I wasn't going to. And then the sweep before this is what I thought the sweep before this would do. So when it didn't do it, I didn't have a lot of, faith that we were going to actually do what I thought it was going to do, which is the full retracement, which is what it ended up doing. So I took another one off there because I spent too much time here. Like I said, this is 3 times the speed that it actually was. And here I thought about following it with a stop, because I thought once we broke over that J high, I thought we'd get like a burst up to that next that session VWAP, which is the right there at the dot dash line. But it's not. You know what? I'm just going to take it and hold this one just to see. And it's not like I would have let this come all the way back, right? Maybe I thought we would get maybe a little move down, maybe to the RTH VWAP, something like that. But here you get that nice push up. I'm shooting for the VA high, which is right in here. I should have closed it right there. I should have closed it. You can see I'm kind of fumbling back and forth what I want to do with it. And then you did get a nice retest of that, because your next targets would be the G high and then the A. and then 250, and then you did get the overnight high as well.